Hey guys, welcome to Yoga Alicia. It is Alicia, and today we are going to go through Warrior 1, also sometimes referred to as Warrior A or Virabhadrasana. So let's go ahead and grab your mat and get started. Alright, so here's the deal. We can come into Warrior 1 a bunch of different ways. We can kind of start in a runner's lunge and bring ourselves up, working from the ground up. Or kind of what I would prefer to do is, let's get into it like we're going into it from a flow, like say from an Ashtanga Sun Salutation B or something. So we've just taken our flow and we're back in Downward Dog. And we're going to step the foot between the hands and come up into Warrior 1, right? So this is what I do, is I kind of get myself into the basic position and then I start checking, boom, 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 for all these little things to correct my adjustment. And when you're in a flow class and you're kind of going through it too, you're not going to have the time to really be like, okay, let me check this and this and this and this and this, and now I'm going to come up and I'm going to bend, and it's like there's a lot kind of going on that you need to think about. So let's just go ahead and get into the basic positioning and then we'll try to correct anything that might be off, okay? So your front foot is going to be facing the front of your mat. Your back foot is going to be, so a couple different things here. If we were doing like traditional Ashtanga, your heels would be in line. So your heels would be directly in line and your back foot would be at a 45-degree angle. If you're having a hard time balancing or you're just a beginner and you can't quite get your hips squared to the front of your mat the way that they should be in Warrior 1, then you can step it out a little bit so that your heels are not in line. Oops, see, I'm falling over. And then once you've got your feet positioned right and your hips are squared to the front of the mat, then you're going to go ahead and take the bend in your front knee. You want to try to get as close to a 90-degree angle as possible. So you would like your thigh to be parallel to the floor and your knee should not go out further than your ankle. So you can kind of take a look. If you want to inch it further to kind of get it where you want it to be. This feels weird for me to be out that way. And while we're here, there's a tendency, once we bend the knee, to kind of ducktail. We don't want to do that. So make sure that your tailbone is reaching towards the floor and you're keeping your tummy engaged, navel in, bending in. This back leg, like I cannot even begin to express how important this back leg is. So if you are like super solid in this leg, the whole thing is engaged, you're pressing into your mat with your feet and your quads are engaged and it kind of helps take some of the stress of the posture off this front quad here. So a lot of times in Warrior, if you feel like I can't do this, like my quads are going to give out, it's burning so bad, maybe you might not be engaging that back leg as well as you should be. So, my leg's starting to burn a little bit. So, hands can be, there's a bunch of different options here. You can keep them right on your hips for beginners, or you can go ahead, bring them up. You can clasp the hands. Gaze can either be straight ahead or up at the hands. If you have any kind of neck issues, just keep your gaze straight. You can also interlace your fingers behind. Just make sure when you do that you don't kick those hips back. Don't ducktail it. Keep length in the spine, shoulders down and away from the ears. So really what we're doing here is I like to have my arms up. I like to imagine I'm like reaching for the sky with my arms and really grounding down with my lower body. So there's like this this like tug of war happening with your body, right? So like you're in this and you're like, I'm a warrior, like I'm strong and I'm tall, but I'm also like super grounded and fierce. So that is Warrior One. With Warrior One, we are strengthening our shoulders, our arms, our back, our legs. We're stretching our chest, our shoulders, our psoas, which is so great. Getting some stretch into the hips, and it's really just a great pose to learn and really master. But like I said, for me, I think it's a little bit easier to kind of just like have a checklist in your head, and then when you're in a flow class and they have you step forward and they say, on your next inhale, bring your left foot between your hands, step forward, rotate your back heel down, arms up, Warrior One. Then once you're there, if you're holding it for a couple breaths, then start taking notice. Am I engaging my back leg? Where is my knee according to my ankle? Can I, am I arching my back? Am I straight spine? Are my shoulders over my hips? Are my shoulders away from my ears? Like, I kind of think it's a little bit easier to go through that mental checklist once you're kind of already in the basic posture. So that's it. That's Warrior One. And our next video that I'm going to be doing, we will be doing Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana 2. So I hope you guys will join me for that. If you haven't already, guys, please click subscribe and subscribe to my channel, because I promise there is a ton more content to come. So thank you so much for joining me today. Everybody have a great day. Namaste.